Too late now. You felt it before hearing it, that pressure behind the eyes. They didn't knock. They leaned in, calm voices, busy mouths, everybody talking. Funny thing, no one asked you first. Watch how rumors behave. They grow legs. They borrow uniforms. You're standing still, yet the ground keeps moving you forward. Somewhere, a lookout blinks twice. Someone writes you down. Not because you ran, because you didn't. This isn't about what's coming. It's about who's ready and why. They're suddenly watching you like a drop. They can't T-stop. Everybody's talking, not to you, around you. You feel it first. A vibration, a rumor breathing. Smiles arrive early, eyes arrive armed. Voices act casual. You'll mention softly. Like a warning, like a test. Nothing has happened. That's the problem. When noise gathers, without reason, it's rehearsing. You're still untouched, yet already measured. They don't know what's dropping. They just know it's close. And somehow, you're standing exactly where it lands. You start noticing repeats, same pauses, different mouths. Questions arrive sideways, compliments feel timed, jokes land sharp. Nothing random anymore. You see it. The way eyes check exits before mentioning you. They speak fast, then slow, like they're sinking. Patterns don't announce themselves. They orbit. You weren't invited, yet everything aligns around your presence. Same hours, same corners, same silence after names. You test it, say nothing, watch everything move. They adjust tone, they adjust distance, they adjust lies. That's when it clicks. This isn't curiosity, it's calibration. They're not asking if something drops, they're mapping where it lands. And suddenly, every pattern leads back. To you, the air changes, subtle, official. Looks stop drifting, they lock, they log. You're not followed, you're tracked, without movement. Questions repeat from different mouths, same shape. Your name travels ahead of you, arrives first. Notes get taken after you speak, sometimes before. They smile to stay human. It fails. Time stretches. Rooms listen. Silence reports back. You realize this isn't interest, it's procedure. They don't need proof, they need patterns. And you, standing still, are suddenly the most recorded thing. In the room, something shuts off. Not fear, noise. You feel it. The urge to clarify dies mid-thought. Words step back. Breath slows. Posture settles. You catch them waiting, leaning forward for justification. You give none. Silence stretches. It bothers them, feeds you. You realize every explanation was permission. So you take it back. No defense, no story, no correction. Just stillness with weight behind it. Their questions lose balance. Their tone thins. You don't resist. You don't comply. You simply stand, unreadable. And something in them starts to shift. They don't notice it immediately. That's the trick. Power never arrives loud. It leaks, slow. Between moments, 1 second, they're leaning forward. Next, they hesitate. Not fear yet, confusion first. You feel it in timing. Their questions come late. Their interruptions miss. They expected resistance or collapse. You gave neither. That broke rhythm. Authority lives on rhythm, on predictability, on reactions. You stopped reacting. Now watch closely. Their shoulders tighten. When you stay calm, their voices rise to fill space you no longer offer. They repeat themselves. That's insecurity speaking. You answer shorter, cleaner, sometimes not at all. Silence becomes your most expensive weapon. They begin to negotiate without saying the word. Tone softens, language bends, rules feel flexible. Someone glances sideways, someone else waits before speaking. Chain of command just blinked. You didn't challenge authority, you outlasted it. That's when control moves. Not in a dramatic moment, but in a gap, a pause. where they expect you to fill space, and you don't. Power hates vacuum. You created one. Now they start explaining procedures, reasons, justifications. Funny, that was your role earlier. You listen, patient, neutral. They mistake that for weakness briefly. Then they notice you're not absorbing pressure, you're letting it spill. Pressure has nowhere to land. When the surface is flat, you watch them manage optics, choose words, avoid implications. They're suddenly careful with you. That's the shift. Control doesn't belong to the loudest voice. It belongs to the one who doesn't need one. You stop chasing outcomes. They start chasing stability. You see it in how decisions delay, in how approvals stall. They were waiting for your reaction. You don't give it. Waiting flips roles. Now they're contained by uncertainty. You're free inside it. You realize something dangerous. They need closure. You don't. They want this finished. You can stay here all day. Time switches sides. Someone clears their throat. Another checks a watch. A third forces a smile. You remain still. Stillness becomes dominance. They adjust strategy, soften edges, change angles. Control is migrating. They feel it. They hate it. Because once authority asks permission, even silently, it's no longer authority. You didn't overthrow anything. You let it exhaust itself. Now every move they make is reactive. Every move you make is optional. That's when you know. The handoff is complete. No announcement, no victory speech, just a quiet understanding. In the room, whatever happens next won't be decided to you. It will be decided around you. It starts with noise again. Different noise. Faster footsteps, shorter sentences, eyes that don't settle. They feel it before naming it. Authority always does. Something slipped, something tilted. They don't know when. That's what scares them. Radios crackle wrong. Messages overlap. Instructions collide. Too many people speaking, too few deciding. You notice the first mistake, they rue. Shh. Rushing is panic, wearing confidence. They check rules they used to enforce. They look for approval they never needed before. Someone says, just to be safe. That phrase is fear's fingerprint. They begin protecting themselves from outcomes they can't yet see. That's when you understand. They thought the drop was theirs to control, a release, a move, a spectacle. Instead, it became a mirror. Now they're watching their own reflections fracture. They expected you to flinch, to break, to expose something useful. You expose nothing. So they invent urgency, deadlines, escalations, consequences, all noise. You remain slow. Slow becomes threatening. They circle back to old tactics, pressure, authority, numbers. It doesn't land because panic can't dominate someone who's already still. You see fear migrate from strategy to behavior. Hands move too much, jaws clench, breaths shorten. Someone laughs at the wrong moment. That laugh gives everything away. They realize this situation isn't escalating forward. It's collapsing inward. They are reacting to silence. That's a losing fight. You feel them recalculating you again and again. First you were a subject, then a variable, now a risk. They don't fear what you did, they fear what you might not do. Unpredictability is poison to systems. They try to force resolution, close the loop, end the moment. But closure requires consent. You don't give it. Now they're exposed, not publicly, but internally. They see each other hesitate. They notice fractures they used to ignore. Hierarchy weakens when fear travels upward. Someone above them is asking questions now. N-O-T, about you, about them. That's when panic sharpens. Because once scrutiny turns inward, authority cannibalizes itself. They rush to appear aligned, unified, confident. You watch the performance fall out of sync. Too perfect, too forced. They don't realize the drop already happened. Not an event, a realization. They lost control. The moment they noticed, you weren't trying to take it. Fear spreads faster than orders. You feel the room tighten, everyone sensing something irreversible. They're no longer watching you, they're watching outcomes, and outcomes are no longer loyal. That's when you know. The panic isn't about exposure. It's about the terrifying idea that whatever comes next won't obey them. Not because you attacked, but because you didn't. The sirens don't end suddenly, they fade. That's important. Noise never disappears. It retreats when it realizes it's no longer in charge. At first, they wait for sound to return. A statement, a reaction, a mistake, anything that confirms this moment still belongs to them. You give nothing. Silence settles in layers, heavy, deliberate, not absence, presence without permission. They don't know how to behave without cues. Institutions are trained to respond to motion, to disruption, to resistance. You offer stillness. Stillness confuses systems. Someone clears their throat. No one follows. Someone shifts weight. The room notices. Every micro movement becomes loud now, because silence has changed the rule. Earlier, they watched you. Now they watch themselves, being watched by the moment. That's the inversion. You feel it in posture. Spines straighten unnaturally. Hands fold, unfold. They're performing control instead of possessing it. That difference matters. They don't speak because they're choosing silence. They don't speak because they're afraid of saying the wrong thing. In a room that now remembers everything, you stand inside that memory, not as a threat, as a constant. Time stretches again, but this time it stretches for you. Every second adds weight to your quiet. They want closure. They want narrative. They want an ending that restores order. You understand something they don't yet. Endings require authority, and authority just left the room. Someone finally speaks. It lands wrong, tone mismatched, words too neat, confidence rehearsed. The silence rejects it. That's when you know you're no longer inside their process. They are inside yours. You don't need to say it. They feel it. A subtle recognition passes from face to face. This person cannot be moved with noise, cannot be rushed, cannot be framed. They stop trying to extract something from you. They start trying to contain the moment itself. Containment is fear's last language. Procedures tighten, language stiffens, smiles vanish completely. Humanity is inefficient. When dominance slips, they reduce interaction, limit exposure, control variables, but you're not a variable anymore. You're an anchor. Everything unstable pulls against you and reveals itself. They wanted a drop, a release, a spectacle they could manage. Instead, they got silence, and silence doesn't follow scripts. You notice how quickly people adjust when they realize nothing they do will provoke you. Some retreat, some posture, some avoid eye contact entirely. Avoidance is a confession without words. You don't chase it. Chasing would break the spell. The real dominance is restraint, not holding back because you're weak, but because nothing here can force your hand. That truth terrifies organized power. Because power survives on predictability, you've become unpredictable by refusing to move. No defiance, no obedience, just presence that refuses classification. They can't label you dangerous. They can't label you compliant. Ambiguity becomes your shield and your weapon. Minutes pass, maybe more. Time loses clarity. When hierarchy dissolves, someone looks at you, expecting something, anything that lets them act. You meet their gaze, not challenging, not apologetic, neutral. That neutrality breaks them more than anger ever could, because anger gives direction, neutrality gives nothing. They realize whatever happens next won't happen because of you, it will happen around you. That's the final shift. You're no longer inside the event, You're the reference point. Everything else is measured against. Sirens outside finally die completely. No echo, no aftermath. Noise, just quiet, the kind of quiet that stays. They won't admit it. They'll never say it aloud. But every person in that space understands the same thing. This moment belongs to you now. Not because you took it, because no one else could. You don't celebrate. You don't move. Victory would cheapen the control. You let silence do the work. Let it seal itself into memory long after this ends. Long after people rewrite stories and soften edges, this quiet will remain unexplainable, uncomfortable, permanent. And when they think back to the moment everything slipped, they won't remember what you said. They'll remember what you didn't. That's domination. Without fingerprints, no sirens, no applause, no announcement. Just the understanding, shared silently, that from here on, nothing important will move forward without accounting. For you, silence doesn't end when you leave. It follows. They carry it home, into meetings, into sleep. Questions start forming that have no safe answers. Did we miss something? When did it turn? Who allowed it? Blame looks for a host. It never finds you. You become the unspoken variable. Plans are adjusted, with your absence in mind, schedules rewritten around what you might do. That's real power. When even nothing from you forces movement, they speak your name less. Names give shape. They can't afford that. Instead, they pause. Pauses spread. Decisions slow. Confidence erodes quietly. You didn't threaten. You didn't warn. You existed without permission. And now every system that touched you walks carefully like ground that once shifted without sound. They won't chase closure. They won't reopen it. Some doors stay shut because what waits behind them doesn't make noise anymore. And you move forward unchanged, knowing one thing clearly. When silence wins, it never needs another word.